Welcome to a session in which we will look at a statement called balance sheet. In an earlier session, we saw that financial statements indicate health of a business. Balance sheet of a business indicates its long-term health right from the time when the business began. The balance sheet is always as of a particular date. On a given day, it tells us three things: what the business owns, what it owes to others, and what is left for its owners. These three components of a balance sheet are called assets, liabilities, and net worth, respectively. Let's look closely at these three components of a balance sheet, starting with assets. Assets are things that a business owns. Hence, they are useful and add value to the business. Assets are usually used by a business to make products or services, which then can be sold to get money. There are two types of assets in any business. These are called current assets and fixed assets. We will look at current assets first. Current assets are those assets which the business expects to convert into cash in the current period. By current period, we mean the financial year that is currently going on. There are many types of current assets. We will look at those which are very common. The first current asset is cash available to the business. This is the amount that belongs to the business. For a grocery store, this may simply be the money that is left in the drawer when the shop owner closes the shop. But cash asset may also include money that the owner may have kept safely at home, which is to be used in the business. A related current asset is business bank account. This is the money that a business may have kept in a bank account, which is in the name of the business. The third type of current asset is called accounts receivables. This is the amount of money that is due from those customers who have taken the products or services but not paid yet. In such cases, we say that the business has given credit to the customers. We saw this as part of credit transactions when we discussed P&L statement. Another commonly used current asset is called inventory. Inventory itself is of three types. The first type is called finished goods. These are products which are made by a business or bought by a business and then they are ready to be sold. For example, in a lemon pickle business, finished goods will be the bottled pickle which is ready to be sold by the business. The second type of inventory is called work in progress. These are things which are being made but are not final product yet. The big glass jars in which lemon pickle is kept in the sun before it's ready to sell is an example of work in progress. The third type is called raw material. These are the ingredients or things which a business uses to make finished goods. Continuing with our example, lemons that the business buys is an example of raw material. For a grocery shop, the entire inventory is likely to be finished goods since nothing is usually made in a grocery shop. It may be obvious, but it is important to note that in a balance sheet, the value of inventory is shown in rupees and not in any other units such as kilograms or liters. Sometimes, businesses may give advances. A pickle business owner may give some money in advance to a person who owns lemon trees. This way, the owner is ensuring that she will get lemons next month for sure when she will start making the pickle. Such advances in business are also examples of current assets. Some of the businesses are run in rented location. In such cases, often a security deposit is kept with the landlord. Such deposits are also part of current assets. The current assets we looked at are the most common ones seen in businesses. There are also other types of current assets which are not very common and hence we will not cover them here. Before we move to fixed assets, remember the reason why current assets are called so. They are called so because the business intends to convert them into cash during the current period. Now, we will turn our attention to fixed assets. Fixed assets are those useful things which are not expected to be converted into cash, sold, or exchanged by a business. Instead, they are likely to be used by the business to make products or provide services. Typically, such assets include machinery and equipment, furniture, computers, and buildings. So, in our example, the big jars in which the pickle is stored in the sun before it is put into small bottles are fixed assets. They are a part of machinery and equipment type. Sometimes we come across useful things in the business which we can't see or touch, but they are still called assets. One such example is the software license for the accounting package used by a business. Another example is a trade license used by a grocery shop. We call such fixed assets as intangible assets. It means while we can't see them or feel them, they are still very useful for the business. While these are not very common, occasionally we may come across them. You must be wondering about the word fixed in the phrase fixed assets. Why do we call these assets fixed? We call them fixed because they are expected to stay with the business for a long time. Now that we have seen what assets are, we turn our attention to the second main component of a balance sheet, which is called liabilities. These are the obligations that a business has. That means these are the things that a business owes others and must pay them. Hence, liabilities remove value from a business. They are also of two types, just like assets. These two types are called current liabilities and non-current liabilities. Let's first see what current liabilities are. These are obligations that are due within the current financial year. The most common current liabilities are called accounts payable. These are the payments the business is supposed to make but has not made them yet. When a business buys raw materials, products, or services from others, it has to pay for those things. Sometimes, those who sell these things to the business allow it to pay later, such as after 1 month. In such cases, we say that the business has received credit from others. This amount, which needs to be paid soon but not right away, is called accounts payable. In some cases, a customer of a business may pay an advance to reserve a product. Such advances received are also a part of current liabilities, since the business has to either give product or return the money in the current financial year. Sometimes, a business may take a loan which needs to be paid soon and within the same financial year. We call them short-term loans. Such short-term loans are also example of current liabilities. We will now see what non-current liabilities are. The word non-current is telling us that this liability is not needed to be paid during the current financial year. For an example, a business has taken a 2-year loan. While the amount has to be repaid, but not in this financial year. Hence, non-current liabilities are also called long-term liabilities. The word long-term tells us that such payments are much later in the future and not in the current year. The third and the final component of a balance sheet is called net worth. Literally, it means whatever value is finally left. So, a good way to understand net worth is to think about what a business does with its assets and liabilities. If the business uses all its assets to pay all its liabilities, then whatever is left is called net worth. This net worth belongs to the owners of the business and nobody else can claim it. Just like assets and liabilities, net worth also has a few components. The first is the amount of money the owner has invested in the business. We call this as owner's equity. Sometimes businesses also receive subsidies and grants. These two are also the components of net worth. The fourth main component is called retained earnings. The word retained means whatever has been kept back. So, retained earnings is that portion of profits which has been kept back by the business and not given out to the owners as bonuses. That means the business is using its retained earnings to run as well as expand the business. Now that we have seen the three main components of a balance sheet, let's see how they are connected with each other. Do you remember how we defined net worth? We called it as whatever value that is finally left in a business after we subtract liabilities from assets. This statement indeed is the popular equation of a balance sheet. We can say that assets minus liabilities is equal to the net worth of a business. As a convention, we make a small change to this equation by taking liabilities to the right-hand side of the equation. So, we say that assets of a business are equal to liabilities of the business plus its net worth. Hence, total assets must match the sum of the total liabilities and net worth. Every number that we discussed, such as assets, liabilities, and net worth, are called account balances. So, a balance sheet is really a sheet of balances. That's why it's called balance sheet, and it also happens to balance because of the equation that we just saw. To summarize, a balance sheet conveys the financial position of a firm at a point of time. It shows balances of various accounts. The balance sheet tells us what a business owns, what it owes, and hence what will be left for the owners. These three components or accounts are called assets, liabilities, and net worth respectively. Each of these are further divided into smaller components. Assets consist of current and fixed assets. Liabilities have current and non-current components. Net worth has four components. They are owner's equity, subsidies, grants, and retained earnings. Assets of a business are equal to liabilities of the business plus its net worth. That, in a nutshell, is balance sheet.